Hi everyone, it's Dr. McCarran here for PARCC training for the 2015 school year. I thought we'd try something a little bit different since we're expecting students to watch videos online. I figured why not make it an easier process for this training so that way you don't have to watch me present it and we can just move forward with questions and taking any other concerns that might come up. This year, the PARCC assessment will be given to students at two specific times during the year. The performance-based assessment is given at the 75% of instruction mark, which has been indicated as March 2nd through March 27th. The end-of-year component is going to be given at the 90% of instruction mark, which is April 27th through May 22nd. We should have about anywhere between 5 to 6 weeks between students testing from the PBA to the EOY, and we will be working on the schedule for that to take place. As a district, we are in a very good place in regards to scheduling because of the amount of technology that we have within the district and also the fact that we have upgraded our wireless access, our servers, so we're in a very good place technology-wise to be giving the assessment. So you can get an idea of what the assessment looks like. You can see the breakdown here between the English language arts and also the mathematics. The times that you see here do not include the 25 to 30 minutes that it will take to log the students on, read the directions, and close the students out. It really should not take 25 to 30 minutes based on our piloting of the PARCC assessment last year. But you can see that when we do the PBA assessment, it's going to be 3 days of language arts, 2 days of mathematics, so that's 5 days total. When we do the end of year assessment, it's only 1 day of language arts and 2 days of end of year. For grades 6, 7, and 8, it will be 2 days of language arts, 2 days of end of year for math. So that's 4 days for those grade levels. And you can see the time breakdowns. No assessment is going over an hour and a half time period, and we will make sure that we schedule accordingly for that. In most cases, students will only be taking 1 unit per day. However, there are other options available for school districts to give students more than 1 unit per day. Testing materials. Computer-based materials, students are going to have a student testing ticket. That student testing ticket will have a username and password that they will use to sign on to. The only other thing that you're going to have, and this will be for teachers only, that will be a seal code. It's about a 6-letter numerical code that you will be given for the test that you are administering to the students. That code can be placed on the front board. Once students sign in using their testing ticket, they would then be prompted to type in the code that you place on the board. This will allow the students into the test. In prior years with New Jersey Ask, we always had the concern of students opening up the incorrect section. The seal code is pretty much what makes sure that they're on the section that's being tested only and no other section. In some situations, we will have paper-based materials, which will be the test booklets, answer documents, math reference sheets as specified, rulers, and protractors, which I'm going to go into a little bit more in the upcoming slides. Testing materials for school and student supplied materials. These are the materials that we will be supplying to the students. That will be blank scratch paper, could be graph lined or unlined, calculators based on the PARCC policy, and once we receive the manuals for the PARCC assessment, it will have more details regarding the calculator policies. Mathematics tools, materials specified by their accommodations, which could be headphones, dictionaries, so forth. A timing device, so that way you know how much time is left within the assessment. A flip chart or a board. In most cases, you all have boards in the room, and that's to post the time and write the seal code on for the students. And then a door sign, which we will be providing with you, that says testing, do not disturb. The math tools. The first part of the math tools is a reference sheet required for Algebra 1. They are allowed to have it for one section when taking the 8th grade test. It's also required for grades 5 through 8 in mathematics, and we will be getting those reference sheets and getting them to you as soon as possible. As of the last time I checked, the link for the reference sheet was not working on the PARCC website. So as soon as that is up and running and we receive it, as soon as I see that, it will go directly to you as well. Reference sheets are not applicable in grades 3 and 4. Rulers and protractors. Required tools in TestNav. TestNav is a testing platform that the students are taking the test. So in most cases, these tools are going to be available to the students within the testing site itself. As you can see in grade 3, they will be using a 1/4 of an inch ruler, and that's provided in TestNav. In grade 4 through 7, they'll be using an 1/8 of an inch of a ruler and a protractor. In grade 8, the testing site will provide an 1/8 of an inch ruler. It will not provide a protractor, but students will be allowed to use a protractor should they need one. And then in algebra, it will be a ruler and a protractor that can be provided by the school, not provided by the testing TestNav. For the testing site, these are the same exact things that we might have seen in prior years for New Jersey Ask. No coats, backpacks, or purses. No instructional displays, so nothing language arts or mathematics related should be posted. No buzzers, bells will be turned off. No general announcements will be given to minimize the interruptions. No cell phones, MP3 players, or any unauthorized electronics. Should cell phones or devices go off during testing, the student will be removed, and it will be handled as a discipline measure during that time. No food or beverages, except, of course, if it is mandated by an IEP or 504. And no unauthorized recreational reading materials, aka when a student is done with the math portion of the math test, they should not be reading a workbook on how to solve PARCC problems for mathematics, grade 8. So when they talk about unauthorized recreational reading materials, it should be something that is not test related. Students should be well spaced with ample surface area. We will be limited on that because we will be testing in labs. But if we are testing on Chromebooks or other devices, we do have that ability. Assigned seating, of course, good lighting and ventilation. Clock and chart to display time remaining. Of course, never leave a student unattended, especially while the tests are active. Once you give them that seal code, it will be an active test site because the tests are open. All staff members will be given their own username and logon, so that way if a student exits out, you would be able to get that student back into the site and reopen the test that they would have exited out from. Supervise students at all times, including restroom breaks. Monitors to keep the hallways quiet and testing rooms undisturbed. So we will make sure that we do have staff members available in the hallways. And then, as we said before, the testing signs will be up. Just so you're aware, district and school testing coordinators. I am the testing coordinator for the district. So that would be all grade levels. And in my absence, Mark Iannucci, superintendent of schools, would be the alternate district testing coordinator. For Bingham and Downing, it would be Jade Yezi and Kristen Callahan. And then at Vole School, it's Jim Winkelspect and Nancy Beta. So depending on what school you're located at, if you have specific school-related questions, you can go to those individuals to get the answers that you need. In case there's an issue, disruption, security breach, irregularity, anything happens, the school testing coordinator must report the incident to the district testing coordinator immediately. So going back real quick, that would mean that Jade, Kristen, Jim, or Nancy would report whatever incident takes place in any building to me directly. Then, I skipped a page. I would then contact the Office of Assessment as soon as possible. And then from there, I would fill out a report if it was necessary to continue with testing. If you have any questions regarding any parts, you will simply go to your school testing coordinator. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions,